Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at Sony's newest headphones, the WH-1000XM6s. Big anticipation for these following up the really popular XM5s.
That's right.
We've gone through the early hands-on reports, the first impressions, to really pull out what matters most. Think of this as your quick guide to these premium headphones.
Exactly. And Sony's making some big promises, right? Better noise canceling, improved sound, more comfort, clearer calls. The works.
Yeah.
So our plan is to break down those claims and focus on, say, the 15 key things you really need to know about the XM6, the essential info.
Okay, sounds good. Let's start with comfort then, because if you're wearing these for hours, it's crucial. Seems like Sony really doubled down here.
They really have. They're calling it a comfort-first redesign. Yeah. And what stands out in the reports is the headband. It's noticeably wider than the XM5s.
Okay, wider. How does that help?
Well, it just spreads the weight out more across your head, Less pressure on one spot. It should really cut down on fatigue during those long listening sessions. A big deal for over-ear headphones.
Definitely. I know that feeling. And it wasn't just the headband, was it? Something about the fit overall.
Right. The hinge mechanism got a rework, too. The idea was to make it feel snugger, more secure. Plus, it seems to fix that slight rattling some people mentioned with the XM5s.
Ah, good. Those little things can be annoying.
Exactly. It's those small refinements that make it feel more, premium.
And I saw something about the ear cups being replaceable. That sounds like a great idea for, making them last longer.
Oh, absolutely. Huge benefit. You can swap them out yourself, no tools needed.
Really? That's handy.
Yeah. And since ear cups are often the first thing to show wear, this basically extends the life of the headphones quite a bit. Good thinking. And they come in 3 colors, black, off-white, and a new navy blue.
Navy blue, interesting. Okay, let's switch to call quality. That's a pain point for so many headphones. Sounds like Sony is throwing some serious tech at this in the XM6.
They are. I mean, think about how many calls people take on headphones now, especially working remotely. It's got to be good.
Right.
So the XM6s have this 12 microphone array, 6 mics per ear cup, and they use beamforming.
Beamforming. So that focuses on your voice.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
It uses clever processing to zero in on your voice and at the same time try to ignore all the background noise around you.
And it's not just more mics, there's more processing power too.
A lot more. There's a new chip inside that apparently processes the audio something like 7 times faster than the one in the XM5s.
Wow, 7 times.
Yeah. And what that means, practically, is it can run smarter noise reduction for your voice, process things quicker. Mm-hmm. The result is calls that sound really natural, really crisp. Even if you're, say, in a noisy park.
Okay.
There was one test mentioned where someone was in a crowded park and the person they called couldn't even tell. Couldn't hear the background noise at all.
That is impressive. Okay, Sony's known for its active noise cancellation, ANC. Top of the game, usually. Does the XM6 keep that up?
Oh, yeah. By all accounts. Sony's definitely seen as a leader there, and the reports are saying the XM6 takes it next level.
Next level how? Like, what does it block out better?
It seems particularly good with higher frequency stuff, people talking nearby, general street noise, things that can sometimes sneak through other AMC systems.
Right. And how does it stack up against, say, the AirPods Max? They're often mentioned in the same breath for ANC.
That's a good comparison. It seems when you get down to those really low frequencies, like deep engine rumble on a plane, it's a really close race. Maybe the AirPods Max have a slight edge just in that specific low rumble area. But a big plus for the XM6 seems to be the lack of audible white noise.
Ah, that hiss you sometimes get with ANC.
Exactly. Some headphones have that faint hiss, but the XM6 seems remarkably clean. No white noise means a more immersive, less fatiguing listen.
Yeah, that hiss can get annoying over time. Okay, so it blocks sound well, but what about when you need to hear what's going on? Transparency mode.
Crucial feature, yeah. And the reports are really positive here. Less ambient sound through, but it sounds incredibly natural, not artificial or teeny like some can.
So it doesn't sound like you're listening through microphones.
Apparently not. One person described using it in a busy airport and feeling like they weren't even wearing headphones. Could hear announcements, chat easily.
Okay, that's pretty useful.
For sure. Great for commuters, travelers, or just, quickly asking someone something without taking the headphones off.
Right. Okay, they sound good, they cancel noise, they let noise in well. What about just like the physical stuff, the carrying case?
Yes. The case got a bit of a glow up, as one report put it. It's actually more compact than the XM5 case.
Oh, good. The XM5 case was a little big.
It was a bit chunky, yeah. This one's slimmer, and they switched from a zipper to a magnetic clasp.
Ooh, magnets. Easier to open and close.
That's the idea. Just a bit more convenient for daily use. Those little touches,
Definitely. Anything inside the case.
Yeah, there's a little dedicated pocket inside for the cables, the USB-C for charging, and the 3.5 millimeter audio cable if you want to go wired.
Keeps things tidy.
Right. And the case itself feels sturdy, but still lightweight. Good balance for travel.
Okay. Now, controls. How do you actually use these things?
Mostly touch controls on the ear cups. Standard stuff, really. Swipe up or down for volume, tap for play pause, double tap to skip tracks. Pretty intuitive.
Okay, standard touch. But there's something new, too. Head gestures. Sounds a bit sci-fi.
It does, doesn't it? But the hands-on reports suggest they're actually surprisingly intuitive once you try them.
How do they work?
You nod your head to answer a call and shake your head to reject it.
Huh. Really?
Yeah. Apparently, after a little bit, it feels quite natural, especially handy if your hands are full, like if you're working out or carrying groceries or something.
I can actually see that being useful. Okay, clever. What about other smart features beyond the basic controls?
Well, they've got multipoint connectivity. That's a big one.
Ah, connect to two devices at once.
Exactly. Pair it with your phone and your laptop, for instance. Listen to music on the laptop, then seamlessly take a call from your phone when it rings.
That's super useful for juggling work and personal devices.
Totally. And then there's the app, the Sony Headphones Connect app. It's definitely Headphones Connect, by the way. Sometimes people mix that up.
Got it. Headphones Connect. What does the app do?
A lot, actually. It has adaptive sound control, which kind of figures out where you are and adjusts the ANC automatically.
Oh, clever.
And speak to chat. If you start talking, it pauses your music automatically.
Handy for quick chats.
Yeah. Plus, you can fine-tune the ANC level yourself in the app, and there's a full equalizer to tweak the sound exactly how you like it.
So lots of customization through the app.
Definitely. It adds a whole layer of control.
Okay, let's get to the main event for many people. Sound quality. How do they actually sound?
The consensus seems to be really, really good. Audiophile grade is a term being thrown around.
High praise. What's under the hood?
Custom 40 millimeter drivers. And they support high-res audio codecs like LDA and ACA. That means more data, richer sound, especially if you have high-quality music files.
Right, LDAC is Sony's high-res codec. What about for people streaming, standard Spotify or Apple Music? Compressed stuff.
Good question. They have Sony's DSEE Extreme tech for that.
DSEE Extreme. What does that do?
Basically, it uses AI to upscale compressed audio. It tries to intelligently guess and restore some of the high-frequency detail that gets lost when music is compressed.
So it makes streaming sound better.
That's the goal, yeah. Makes it sound richer, closer to the original recording. The overall sound profile gets described as really balanced, punchy bass, but not overwhelming, clear mids for vocals, crisp highs. Should work well for most music podcasts, too.
Any comparisons to the XM5 sound?
Some reports mention hearing even more clarity, especially with high-quality files like FLAC. A noticeable step up, it seems.
Okay. Now, there was also mention of a new feature, spatial audio upmixing. What's that about?
Yeah, that's new. It tries to take a standard stereo track, regular music, and create a more 3D-like soundstage.
So it's not like Dolby Atmos, where the track itself is mixed for spatial audio.
Exactly. It's processing applied to stereo. It adds a sense of, depth and directionality to the sound.
How well does it work? What's the effect?
Reports suggest it can make instruments sound more separated, create a wider feeling. Could be cool for, say, classic rock or orchestral stuff.
Yeah.
Gives it more space.
But I sense a but.
Well, it's noted that audio purists might not love it.
Yeah.
People who want to hear the mix exactly as the artist intended in stereo.
Right.
So it seems like a fun option, maybe good for movies or casual listening, but maybe not for critical analytical listening if you prefer pure stereo.
Gotcha. Okay. Shifting gears slightly. Durability against the elements. Water resistance. Are they workout proof?
This seems to be a bit of a sticking point. There's no official IP rating for water resistance mentioned anywhere.
No IP rating at all.
Nope. So, maybe they'd survive a bit of light sweat or getting caught in a very light drizzle for a second, but definitely not for intense, sweaty workouts or wearing in proper rain.
Okay, that's important to know.
You need to be careful around water. I remember wrecking a pair of non-rated headphones in a sudden downpour once. Not fun. So definitely something to keep in mind depending on how you plan to use them.
Good advice. Okay, let's talk power. How long do they last? Battery life.
Battery life sounds excellent. Stellar, actually. You're looking at up to 30 hours of playback with the noise canceling turned on.
30 hours with ANC, that's solid.
Yeah. And if you turn ANC off, it goes up to 40 hours. That'll cover pretty much any long flight or several days of commuting.
Impressive numbers. And if they do run out, charging speed.
Pretty quick charge, too. A short 3-minute plug-in via USB-C apparently gives you around 3 hours of playback.
Oh, nice. That's great for a quick top-up.
Super handy if you're about to head out and realize they're dead.
Yeah.
Now, just to be clear, there was some confusion in early reports, but the USB-C port is only for charging.
Right, not for audio.
Correct. If you want wired listening, you still need to use the included 3.5mm cable.
Okay, good clarification. So, great battery, fast charging. How's the wireless connection itself? Stable.
Seems rock solid. They use Bluetooth 5.3, which is the latest standard. Should mean a stable connection with low latency. And as we mentioned, that multipoint pairing works really well between different devices like Android and iOS.
Good to know it plays nice with both. Pairing easy.
Yep, reports say pairing is quick and simple. Even though they dropped NFC pairing on this model, it doesn't seem to be an issue.
No dropouts or anything during testing?
Didn't see any major complaints about dropouts during streaming or video watching. And the wireless range seems pretty good too. Lets you wander a bit from your phone or computer.
Okay, so they sound great, feel good, connect well. Are they perfect? Any downsides or little glitches people noticed?
Well, nothing is ever perfect, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, there were mentions of a few minor software hiccups.
Like what?
Specifically, some users reported occasional issues with the wear detection, where it's supposed to pause music when you take them off. Sometimes it didn't quite work right.
Okay. Anything else?
And also some inconsistencies with the touch controls responding, mainly noted when paired with certain Android phones.
Ah, okay. Are those things Sony could potentially fix?
Seems likely, yeah. These sound like the kind of small software bugs that could probably be smoothed out with future firmware updates through that Headphones Connect app. Not deal breakers, but worth mentioning for a full picture.
Fair enough. Now, Sony also added some new listening modes, beyond just ANC, on-off, or transparency.
Yeah, 3 new ones. Background, standard, and cinema mode.
Okay, what do they do?
Background mode tries to create a more relaxed feel, softens the audio a bit, like background music in a quiet place. Standard is just, the default for everyday listening. And cinema mode aims to boost dialogue clarity and sound effects for watching movies.
Interesting. So you can tune it for what you're doing.
Exactly. Adds another layer of tailoring the sound. And you can tweak these modes in the app too.
Right. Back to the app again. It really seems central to the XM6 experience.
It really is. It's like the control center. A real powerhouse for customization, as someone put it.
So besides ANC, EQ, and those modes, what else?
You can remap the touch controls, set up Sony's 360 reality audio if you use services that support it, and crucially, it's how you get firmware updates.
Right, for fixing those potential hiccups.
Precisely. And despite having all these options, the app's generally described as pretty user-friendly. Easy enough for anyone, but deep enough for tech enthusiasts.
Okay, so wrapping up this deep dive then, what are the big wins for the Sony WH-1000XM6? The main takeaways.
Well, summarizing the highlights, they seem to genuinely improve on the XM5s. You're getting what's likely best-in-class noise cancellation, really excellent sound quality, and a noticeably more comfortable, refined design.
Plus the replaceable ear cups and better case.
Exactly. Those are nice practical touches, too.
And the main things to be aware of on the downside.
The big one is the lack of any official water resistance rating. That's a potential issue depending on your use case. And those minor software quirks that hopefully get ironed out.
Gotcha. But overall, where do they sit in the market?
Despite those points, they look like a really strong contender for the title of best overall wireless headphones out there right now. Sony seems to have delivered on improving the key areas.
Okay. So for you listening, thinking about the sources you shared, emphasizing needing top-tier noise cancellation for your commute, but also wanting that high-fidelity sound for your music collection, well, the XM6 sounds like it could really hit that sweet spot for your needs.
Definitely seems like a strong match for that kind of listener.
Something to consider. How do these features line up with what you value most in headphones every day? Thanks for exploring the depths with us today.